Hey everybody, this is Drew. This would be my 6th video blog. I am feeling a lot better. I woke up this morning. I went to sleep about midnight last night and woke up today and I was feeling a lot better. So that's always good. I was really hoping and praying last night that with Christmas a week away I wasn't gonna get sick. So I didn't, so knocking on wood, because the way my luck goes I'll wake up tomorrow sick as a dog, so hopefully I won't. Let's see, I have a couple questions to answer. My first one is my medicine that I use for my hemophilia. The medicine I use is called factor, or recombinant. I use a factor 8, which means that my body is missing the 8th clotting factor. The human body has 12 clotting factors in their blood, which pretty much work off of each other and help your blood to clot. Well, with a hemophiliac, if you're missing a clotting factor, then your blood doesn't clot. Normally people are missing the clotting factor 7, 8, 9. I think it's 7, 8, and 9. I believe. So I am missing clotting factor 8. So therefore I take factor 8, which puts the part of the clotting part back in my blood. Pretty much the factor is made up of Chinese hamster ovary cells, which is the powder that is used, and then it is mixed with sterile water. So that's what factor is. Factor was pretty much founded in the early 80s, or mid 80s, probably like early 80s, mid 80s, around that time. A lot of people before that time, hemophiliacs were treated with blood, so that's how they would get their clotting factor, would be from blood transfusions and everything like that. So as far as Joette is asking me if my clotting factor is free, it is not free. It is $1,500 a box, and I use 3 boxes when I infuse, which runs me close to $5,000 every time I infuse. So depending on the week or what I'm doing, I normally infuse once a week to twice a week, again depending on if I what kind of bleed I have or whatnot. The next question is, do I infuse myself? And yes, I do. When I was young, like I've said, I went to a hemophiliac camp, and I started infusing myself when I was 7. So I've been pretty much infusing myself ever since I was 7 years old. I went to a camp called Camp Wilderness when I was, I think, from age 7 to 9. And then I became a counselor at the camp when I turned 16, and been a counselor there up until I was 18, I believe, somewhere around there. I think it was 2 or 3 years that I was a counselor there. Let's see, he also asked what a Z-Pack was. I don't know if you could really classify it as an antibiotic. It's more or less, it boosts your immune system. It adds, some more stuff to your immune system and gives you almost like a jump start on your immune system, and it fights whatever you're trying to come down with. Like I said, I really wouldn't classify it as a antibiotic. So, let's see. To Mel, thanks so much for your comment saying you hope that I feel better. maybe I feel better because you said that, so thank you. Real quick to everyone who watched my last video, I am really sorry about saying who won Survivor last night. I just put on the little box thing that I talk about Survivor in there. So, Chifani, sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I'm really sorry about that. That's completely my bad. Hopefully you got a chance to watch it, and if you haven't, I was just kidding. I don't know who won. I mean, it could have been Ozzy, it could have been Yule. I don't know. Anyways, so sorry about that. Let's see. I don't have a whole lot to talk about. Real quick, a few of you have asked me about my dog, BB. She was a black lab, like you saw, or she was a black lab mixed with an Irish setter. And like I said in my last video, I had her for close to 19 years. The way that she saved my life, I was about 7 years old, and I'll make this real quick because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I was about 7 years old, and I came up with a brilliant idea of walking her on a leash while riding my bike. Probably one of my brightest ideas I've ever had. So, well, I got on my bike and was walking her. Well, she saw another dog, and I had the leash wrapped around my wrist. So, well, she saw another dog and took off and pulled me off my bike. Now, the funny part about all of this is there's only 2 fire hydrants on my entire block. I hit one of them. Lucky me! Fell off my bike. I hit my head on the fire hydrant. I was knocked unconscious, and I immediately started bleeding into my brain. So I woke up to, well, she had came over and licked my face and woke me up. When I woke up, I had amnesia, so I didn't know where I was or who I was or anything. I just remember her standing over me, and she had picked up her leash and put it in my hand, and pulled me up to my feet, and I was really, dizzy and everything because, of course, I was bleeding into my brain. She led me home. I was on the other side of the block. So
you've got mail.
I have mail right now. I'll check that in a little bit. I guess I should have muted that, but whatever. Well, she had led me home and scratched on the door. My uncle lived at my house at that time. So my uncle came, called my mom. My mom rushed home, grabbed me, took me to the hospital. I spent 5 days in the hospital on prophylactic infusion, and I had a minor concussion. Prophylactic infusion means pretty much being factors in my body constantly, usually infusing every 12 hours. The way factor works is it's halfway done after 12 hours, and it's completely out of the system after 24 hours. So pretty much to keep a full dose of factor in the body, it's good to infuse every 12 hours. So anyways, back to the story. Sorry about that. Pretty much if I would have stayed there and BB never would have came over and, licked my face and woke me up, I would have died right there on the spot, because I would have never woke up because I was bleeding into my brain so badly. So that was the first one. The second one was I used to have a cabin down at the Lake of the Ozarks. It's a really huge man-made lake here in Missouri. It's about 3 hours outside of St. Louis, and well, we had a cabin down at the lake, and there was like this big swimming hole that we'd always go and swim at, me and my friends. Well, the area that we lived, for about a month out of the year, they had water moccasin. The water moccasins it would be their mating season, and well, I was on this almost like a boogie board type raft looking thing, and BB loved the water and everything. Well, the water moccasins, they actually had like, I don't know if they'd be classified as nests or what they were, but they had this little hole thing that they would go in, and then they would come out and sun on the concrete and whatnot. So well, they would go throughout our swimming hole. quite a bit. Well, water moccasins are very, very territorial, and they don't like anything or anybody around their area. Well, me and my friends were out there and we were swimming, and I was laying on this boogie board type raft. Well, I saw BB swimming out, and there was a rope that was connected to the end of this boogie board, and BB swam out real quick and grabbed the rope and started pulling me back to shore. So, you know, she had never done this. She loved to go in the water and swim with me and everything, but she had never came out and grabbed the rope and pulled me anywhere. So I was getting pulled back to shore, and I looked back, and there was like 3 or 4 water moccasins swimming around me, and they were on their way out to me, and she pretty much saw them, jumped in the water, and started pulling me back to shore. So that was the other time that, you know, she saved my life. So that is the whole deal of BB. That's how she saved my life, you know, the twice. I have a new dog now. I got her July 13th, 2 days after I had put BB down. I was completely torn apart after I put her down. I don't know. I'm sure you understand if, you know, you had a pet or whatever, and had to put them down. It's probably the worst feeling that anyone could ever feel. So I was in bad shape after I had to put her down. She had really bad arthritis, and the night before I had put her down, I remember just lying with her and crying. And it might sound kind of weird, but it was. I remember lying next to her and everything, and she kind of looked up at me and like licked my face. And this might sound weird, but it was almost like she was saying, "Okay, it's time." So I was pretty messed up for, you know, the next 2 days, and went down and got another dog. And she's a black lab. Her name's Chloe. Come here, Chloe. Come here. I'll show you. Come here. Oh, actually, I'll just take the camera. This is Chloe. How's a puppy? That's my baby. I love her to death. Can you say hi? So, yep. That's my Chloe. What? So, anyways, I guess I'm done for now. It's still pretty early. It's only 9:30, so maybe I'll make another one later. I'm really sorry this one was so long. I wasn't expecting it to be that long. Hopefully, I mean, if that's a problem, I'm sorry. Just pause it and do something else and then come back later. So, I'll talk a little bit more about some more stuff tonight. Again, if you have any questions, please ask me questions. I love questions, and I love answering questions. So, any questions you have, please let me know, and I will be right there to answer your questions. All right? So, I will talk to you all soon. Thanks, and have a great night.